LeBron James recently went on the record to say if he could play for any 2022 NBA playoff team, it would be the Golden State Warriors. Now, this is not the first time LeBron has shown interest in that team. He says that Steph Curry is absolutely lethal. He wants to play with Draymond Green and get into shouting matches. With the Lakers not really having a lot of assets and LeBron towards the tail end of his NBA career, could LeBron to the Warriors happen this offseason? So LeBron James to the Golden State Warriors. It feels like for the past few seasons around this time, we hear about that idea. And to be quite honest, it might be the first trade in NBA history in which all 30 NBA fan bases disagree and hate it. And straight up, man, I can feel you right now in the comment section typing that, LOL, there's no way this is going to happen. I get that, man. I get the deniability part of it. Nobody wants to see this happen in the NBA. The only people that want to see this are probably like the Hypebeast fans, the ones that rock the Cleveland LeBron jersey, but also rock the 73-9 Golden State Warriors logo hat. Those are the fans that would want to see this, man. With that being said, though, I've seen crazier things happen in my 20 plus years of watching basketball. And, you know, recently, every single season, but most recently with the Donovan Mitchell or Zach LaVine rumors of them going to other teams. Anytime you talk about any sort of rumor, man, you always get the fans that say there's no way this is going to happen. And I think really to understand the NBA and the YouTube comment section and how fans interact with different rumors and different real life scenarios is to understand the 7 stages of grief. And I think when it comes down to it, before a trade actually happens, you want to believe that your favorite player is not going to leave your favorite team. And that's cool. I totally get that. I totally get that side of things. I will also admit that I've seen an NBA superstar join a 73-9 team. I've seen a man host a 1-hour special sponsored by the Boys and Girls Club in which he said he was going to South Beach. I've seen it all, man. And to say that the idea of LeBron James to the Warriors, whether you like it or not, is something that definitely couldn't happen, I think is straight up just deniability, man. So let's talk about this a little bit. Why exactly would LeBron want to join the Golden State Warriors? Well, we know LeBron James, he likes to have control of a franchise. He's called Le GM for a reason, right? He has zero control over the Lakers right now. And I think at this point in LeBron's career, I don't believe he would have total control over a franchise ever again. Because looking at how the Lakers are constructed and looking how LeBron James teams are typically constructed, you trade away all the assets to get the guys that LeBron wants to play with. And when he leaves, you are left with the destruction of the franchise. I mean, it was the same case when he left Cleveland the first time around. They ended up getting guys like Kyrie Irving, Anthony Bennett, Tristan Thompson, getting those top picks in the draft. They got the top pick with Andrew Wiggins, traded that for Kevin Love eventually, once LeBron James came back. So they had to rebuild once he was gone. Same with the Miami Heat. Once LeBron James left, Chris Bosh signed a large contract. He ended up having to retire early, and that Heat team was kind of in no man's land for a bit, and they had to build from the ground up. And we look at the Lakers right now. They have no trade assets whatsoever, man. You can call THT in a first-round pick a trade asset. Any other team, if you're offering that up, man, you ain't getting much back for it, and teams aren't exactly calling about THT in a first-round pick. So where does that leave LeBron James? At this point in his NBA career, he's proving quite a bit. I still think that he needs to win another ring or two. I think that would cement his legacy so much more as far as the GOAT of the NBA. Now, obviously, he's cemented as a top 2 GOAT, but for people that want to go out there and call LeBron James the greatest of all time, I still think there's some work to be had. And, there's possibilities that the Lakers come back next season with LeBron, and they're completely fine. Maybe they go out and get some free agents for the minimum deals and those guys end up playing beyond those contracts. That's definitely a real possibility, right? Maybe Darvin Ham and Rasheed Wallace can get the most out of Russell Westbrook. It sounds like they want him to be a big part of the team going forward. Now, at the same time, you don't really have a lot of choice in the matter. He doesn't really have a very tradable contract at this point. So you can see LeBron, LeBron's a smart guy, right? The dude knows basketball. I think we can all agree LeBron James knows basketball. He can tell right now if this Lakers team's going to do anything next season. He knows that. Like, a lot of people say they don't know, but like, I don't like LeBron James knows. So for him to have a chance to go to a Warriors team that's already assembled, but also he fits perfectly with this window, you know, playing with Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time, getting to, you know, yucking up on the court with Draymond Green, you can see where that would at least be enticing. Especially if LeBron, you know, he already joined the Lakers, so join the Warriors. While I don't think it's as bad as when KD did it, I still think, obviously, you know, he's going to get some shame for it. But, you know, LeBron's been through that. I don't think LeBron really cares all too much. LeBron wants to do what's best for LeBron James, and as far as the legacy goes, join the Warriors and the tail end of things, I could see it happening. So what type of trade actually gets this done? I was watching The Herd this morning, probably my first mistake, where I actually got this idea from. And Colin Cowherd was talking to some dude, and they were saying basically that the trade would look something like, you know, Klay Thompson. Woo, baby. We ain't not editing that out, man. Klay Thompson, Jonathan Kuminga, and a few first-round picks. And they think that would be enough to get LeBron over on the Warriors. Now, me personally, I could see them also having to give up a guy like a Moody, but let's assume that it's some trade like that. I think financially it all makes sense. Why exactly do both sides do that trade? Well, from the Lakers' standpoint, you don't really got a lot of assets right now. Even once the LeBron James window is closed, there's not like a lot going on with this team, right? They have traded away so many first-round picks and everything, it's just not there. So in this case, you get Klay Thompson, you put him next to Russell Westbrook, that could work. I feel like Russell plays nice with catch-and-shoot players. It's why Paul George had such an amazing season in OKC when he played with Russell. You also got Anthony Davis out there too, you know, playing with Klay Thompson. Like, that's a nice trio. It's very injury-prone, and it's reliant on a lot of things going right, but at least it's something. You also get Jonathan Kuminga, who could end up being a future All-Star in the NBA. Like, he's definitely shown a lot of tools early on that he could be that guy. I believe he was the youngest player to start an NBA game, or an NBA, was it NBA Finals game or something like that? Or NBA playoff game, I believe it was. Yeah, it was NBA playoff game. And I remember him looking pretty good out there too. Like, as far as like a rookie goes, I mean, those are big moments, you know, for an 18-year-old. And it reminds me of like Sekou Doumbouya, who just, yeah, well, he didn't have any chances to play in the playoffs, let's be honest though, right, man? So I feel like that's what the Lakers do. It's like you get a good young player, you get some draft picks out of it, and you still remain somewhat entertaining. There you have it. And then for the Warriors side of things, you know, Klay Thompson's not been great in the NBA Finals. At the making of this video, maybe he goes off for 80 points in Game 3. I don't really know. But at the making of this video, Klay Thompson not been great in the finals, right? Missed basketball for 2.5 years. And when it comes down to it, like, it's between just injuries and rust and things like that, he might not ever be like the same exact player. And while I know seeing Klay Thompson on a different team would be heartbreaking, especially if you're a Warriors fan, I think also embracing the future of Jordan Poole would be very refreshing. And he's ready to go right now. I mean, you would be entering next season with a team of, well, it depends what they do for the lineup. Yo, if you're the Lakers too, you might actually even just go for James Wiseman while you're at it too, man. There's a lot of different things you can do here, because next season, I think if they were to do this trade, you're probably looking at Wiggins being gone, unless they want to go like a real small ball route and do a team, you know, of Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, LeBron James, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green. But I could see maybe Wiggins. Yo, wouldn't it be hilarious? Man, Andrew Wiggins, man, all-star team with the Golden State Warriors. LeBron comes around, he traded his ass again, man, to Cleveland for Kevin Love. Bring him back, man. Can Kyrie, or you'll get Kyrie Irving while you're at it too. No, just I don't see that trade going down. But actually, Wiggins to the Cavaliers, that would actually make a little bit of sense, man. But I don't see the Warriors doing that, right? But yeah, it's a really dangerous team. Like, you got LeBron with Steph Curry. I mean, LeBron's still got it. The man has played one of his best seasons just this previous season, but just didn't make the playoffs, right? Like, the team just wasn't like that. So, I don't know, man. Like, the basketball fan of me, little intrigued to see it. You know, I want to see some flight reacts. I want to see some flight reacts, you know, checking out LeBron and the Warriors. But I want to see what that reaction's looking like. But also at the same time, too, like, do I just want to see it? I think I might want to see it, man. I can see the backlash of it. And just, you know, when you talk about legacies and stuff like that, you talk about players and, you know, their histories and everything like that, man. I mean, you know, LeBron and the Warriors never go hand in hand in a positive light. So I think it would be kind of weird. I think it would be very much like a Magic Johnson joining the Celtics or Larry Bird joining the Lakers, man. Like, even if it's towards the tail end of the career, it still would not sit absolutely right. What you all think about this, man? LeBron to the Warriors. Should it happen? Does it make sense for both sides? Is there a trade to get it done? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.